Welcome back. Welcome back to True Talk. I'm John Cancio. If you're just joining us, today is Psychic Talk Show Guy Day. And next up on the show, everyone please welcome Joe. I've got to think about your name here. Joe Giannini. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, Joe Giannini, everybody. I've got to practice my names. Well, you are a psychic medium.
Correct.
And it's your first time on True Talk, so
Yes,
appreciate you being here today. And tell us a little bit about what you can do.
What can I do?
What can you do?
As a psychic medium, I can read auras, I can read spirit around you, I can tune into certain things, but I'd rather not today deal with personal type of questions.
Too personal. Okay, do you see an aura around me?
Yes, I do. It's very wide.
It's wide.
Yes, it's very,
okay.
it's very a bluish purple.
Okay.
Okay, you're a very spiritual person.
Okay.
But there's still some questions that you have about where you're going and what your path is.
Okay.
And it seems like there's something else going on with you right now, that there's probably something in the background that you're working on that's not quite finished yet.
Ah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so how long have you been practicing as a psychic medium?
Many, many years.
Many years.
Over 25 years.
25 years. So
Yes.
it's pretty safe to say you've read hundreds or not, if not thousands of people.
I would say hundreds.
Okay. Now, have you had an aha moment that really made you realize that you were psychic?
When I was a kid.
When you were a kid?
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened to you?
Just sitting in class and just knowing what other people were going to do before they did it.
So intuition, premonitions?
I think it was spirit working with me.
Okay.
I would see other people around other people.
Did you see and talk to dead people?
I guess you would say yes when I was a kid. I didn't know what I was doing. It's the same thing when little kids have an imaginary friend. And you have to really not put them down for it or say, that's just a kid talking. But a lot of times they're talking with that spirit friend.
Did it take you a long time to realize that this wasn't normal?
No, because my mother was very psychic herself. And she
okay.
saw spirit a lot.
And you go to people's houses and you do kind of like ghost huntings, right?
A paranormal investigator.
Okay.
Tri-City, New York Paranormal Society. We go to historical sites. We go to people's homes. Sometimes there's house clearings and sometimes there's not, depending on what the person wants or the business wants. Okay,
so do you make them go away? Is that something that you do?
Well, it's not a matter of making them go away. First, you have to find out why they're there. Sometimes they're there for that person, and that person doesn't know it. Sometimes it's a loved one trying to tell that person something that's happening or going to happen, and they're there to warn them about it. And then once that's known, then that person goes to where they need to go. They see the light, and there's all different explanations for that.
So when we think of it being negative, it's not always that way.
It's not negative. The stuff that you see on television is not what real ethical paranormal investigation is all about.
Okay, well, you'll have to take us on one of these trips one day.
You sure can.
Yeah.
You can come along.
Well, let's take some questions from the audience. We'll start out here in the front row. What's your name?
Joe?
Yes.
Okay, what would you like to ask?
Do you see an aura around me?
Yes.
What color?
It's pinkish. It's not because you have a pinkish there, but you have a pinkish aura right above your head. You also have a grandmother working with you a lot. Did you have a favorite grandmother?
I didn't know my grandmother's.
Well, it doesn't matter whether you knew her or not. Somewhere in your astral travels, when you sleep or your dreams, you may be dreaming about her, and you just need to tune into that in your dreams because your grandmother is there. I never met one of my grandmothers, and she's always comes to me.
Now, do our auras change color sometimes?
They is, depending on your mood, depending on the situation, if you're under a lot of stress, if there's an impending situation that you're not aware of, your aura can change just by spirit working with you, or just your psychic abilities, because everyone is psychic. Not everyone is mediumistic, but everyone is psychic. So you may be picking on something, tuning into something, and it's working with you, and you don't realize it or know how to work with it.
So what does pink has a meaning?
It has a lot to do with affection. And some of us have our own meanings for these colors. They're standard colors that, what things mean, but most of us have our own interpretation. That pink is that this grandmother spirit around you is working with you. She's sending you some kind of healing love at this point. If you're going through some sort of issue where you're not feeling too well, or you have to, there's some kind of a situation where you need to do something to become healthier, she's sending you that healing love right now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. So even though she didn't know her, she could be there to protect her because
That's
they
correct.
were blood.
And through sort of like meditation and other practices and going to message circles or spirit circles, she can find that out.
Okay. Hi.
Joe?
Hello.
My
You
name-
know Joe.
Yes, I guess I do, but I don't. He doesn't know it.
You do, but you don't.
Yeah. Joe, my name is Diane.
Hello.
Do you see my aura?
Yes. Your aura, you've got some, there's some spiritual purplish white above your head. I also see in your solar plexus chakra, which is right about here, you're doing something with some kind of learning or trying to get grounded in some way. Are you doing anything like that, like reading or looking into something that's spiritual-like?
I'm constantly looking into things.
But you haven't found that particular thing that really catches you where you're going to really want to study it and go for it.
No, I haven't, not yet, but I'm
Okay,
curious by nature.
and that's one of the things that's frustrating you right now, that you're not finding it, all right? And I'm picking up and tuning into your aura, and I'm seeing that it's there, and you just missed it. You skimmed over something that you were reading or studying, and what your path is and what you want to go into is just that. And you just kind of overlooked it, not really going into it.
So I'll
So-
go back.
Yes.
Go back.
That was my question. Yeah. So she should go back and
Always go
what does
back and review.
How does she know what to look for exactly?
It'll come to her, she'll get that aha moment, and she'll feel it, and she'll feel the release in the solar plexus area.
Any spirits around me?
You have a woman in spirit. She's not a relative, but she's someone who is very, very old that has been with you. She's been in spirit for a long time. Have you felt anyone around you that maybe appears from a very older age? Did you ever feel anyone like that around you?
Not really, no.
Okay. You haven't looked for her. You're not, and that's one of the things that our spirit guides, many people just overlook certain feelings. Tune into these feelings and be very aware of everything around you when you're quiet.
Do
more
we have to
meditation.
know our spirit guides?
You don't have to, but it's a good help because they're around us. It's like a spirit guide or your guardian angel, however you want to interpret it. So she needs to, and most people need to tune into that area of their lives because they're always around. No matter what you've ever learned when you were a child or what spiritual path, a lot of times we're told that you don't do that, and this is scary and that's not good. You really should not be afraid of it because in ancient times, in early spiritual paths, these things were normal. And it's okay to know who that guide is for you.
Yeah, it's fine with me. I had imaginary friends when I was a child.
And they may not have been that imaginary to you. They may have been guides that were with you as a child, helping you grow,
Yes.
helping nurture you.
And my parents didn't discourage me either.
That's wonderful, and that's a good thing. Never discourage the children when they have these imaginary friends.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
welcome.
Nice hat, by the way.